Welcome to the Dumb Idea Podcast with Mike and Alex. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you enjoy the show. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share this video or podcast on any platform that you're listening on. Please visit us at www.dumbideapodcast.com. All right, welcome back to the podcast, another episode. This is a big episode for us. We're going to have Mike explain why this is so big for us.
Yeah, so this is the last episode ever of the Dumb Idea Podcast. And one might say, why would we be excited about the last episode ever? And it could be because neither one of us wants to hang out with one another anymore.
That's right, I hate you.
So that could be it. I didn't really think that we'd get that much of a positive response to that, but you learn something new every day.
That's right.
But yeah, this is the last one ever of the Dumb Idea Podcast. However, it's not our last show together, as it's simply a change in name. And we'll get into the reasons why we're doing that, but I don't think we ever really said why we ever started doing this or what the idea behind it was. I think our first episode we talked about a boat that got stuck in the Suez Canal.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, and this is not going to be a clip show. I hate clip shows.
Nope.
We're not doing that. Plus, neither one of us knows how to do it. So
No. That first episode, by the way, 150 listens on that show, which is more than, for a first show.
Yeah.
That's more than we ever thought people would listen to it.
Yeah, no, I never thought that many people would listen to. I don't think I know that many people. So
I definitely
that's
don't.
not it. So it's the whole idea behind this show is I think we were sitting around BSing over beers or something and said, hey, this could be a podcast. And we both listened to podcasts, and then somehow, thanks to the miracle of cheap imported goods and Amazon, we bought some equipment and started doing this and have had fun doing it. At times, I think it can be therapeutic to just sit around and yak. I think that's why people do it a lot of the times. And then, so as we just grew and started talking about other things, and we never really had an idea of how we wanted the show to go. It was just kind of, hey, what's in the news? What's cool? What are we interested in? And I think it kind of just went along like that. So whether it was politics, which I think we try to delve into it, but it's one of those things where it's always on people's minds. Or cars, which is something that we both like talking about. Sports, just whatever. And thought that, hey, maybe people would want to listen to what we have to say about this. So, and that's how it started. No real designs on getting huge, which is a good thing.
With what's happens to some of these guys with podcasts and vlogs and whatnot, I don't know if I want any of that with some of the crazies out there. And not that I ever think it'll get to that point, but I think in a year we've got more listeners than we thought we would ever get for this stupid thing.
Yeah.
And not that it's stupid, but there was a reason why we called it the Dumb Idea Podcast in the beginning. One, because the website was available, but two, shocker that website was available. But two, we literally thought this was going to be something so dumb that nobody would listen. Who wants to listen to two guys from the suburbs in the basement talk about everyday stuff? And apparently people did, because there isn't that voice out there on the radio that talks about all the nuance of, we talk about our political views. They're so nuanced. You're talking about two guys that used to vote heavy Democrat and still have our Democrat point of views, but the Democrat Party doesn't want us around anymore. So, I think that resonates with a lot of people, especially in the suburbs or even rural or urban, but definitely in the suburbs. It kind of resonates. And then, of course, the other stuff we talk about is just fun.
Yeah.
And the idea behind the podcast, I think, was, we literally came up with this talking over Ty's fence.
Yeah.
Or near Ty's fence.
Yeah.
I mean, because every Friday we would hang out, and not just us. I mean, you guys have met Josh, Smitty, Ty, Krishan, and some other people have come on this show, and these are the conversations we were having there over Ty's fence or near Ty's fence.
Yep.
Which is why the logo is two guys talking over a fence. We just thought the name of a show didn't sound great if you put it as two guys talking over a fence. It just didn't ring. It wasn't really hitting the right spot.
Yeah.
So we're like, this is the dumbest thing ever. I can't believe we're gonna do this. 5 pieces of equipment later, we're doing it. We're like, this is still the dumbest idea we've ever come up with. But now it's a year later, and we're still doing it.
Right, and we haven't gotten sick of it yet.
No, it's still fun. So apparently it wasn't so dumb after all.
No.
So the name doesn't fit.
Right. And the dumb idea, it had nothing to do with what we were talking about, though sometimes it was dumb. Probably more than sometimes. But the idea of the whole doing this all of itself was the dumb idea. So that's where the name initially came from. And it's pretty cool. We've gotten some feedback from some people that we don't know, from fans, I guess, they're out there, which is pretty cool. So
that was the biggest shocker for me.
Yeah.
It was the random out of the blue message that we got.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy crap. Someone out in Buffalo listens to us. Mm-hmm. Nowhere near us.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was cool.
Yeah. I don't think my wife hasn't listened to one single episode yet.
That guy in Buffalo has.
Yeah. But in her defense, she's not a podcast person. So, and I listen to podcasts. I mean, that's about all I listen to anymore. I mean, I don't even I rarely listen to music. I listen to music maybe when I'm out by the grill, maybe if I'm lifted in the evening, but in the morning, I'm not in the mood for like death metal in the morning. I listen to a podcast.
Me too.
And, I'm not, most of my news comes from podcasts. And I think it's a really neat medium because you're not restrained by time. You're not restrained by, and anyone can do it, which might be one of the bad things about it because there's like 8 gajillion podcasts out there.
There's a lot of them.
But I think there's enough that anyone can find their little niche, and run with it. And, my thing is like, if there's people out there that like to listen to it and it's they get some value out of it and we get some value out of making it, then, if it's 8 people or 8,000 people or 8 million people, whatever, I'm having fun and I think you're having fun too. So
I have a good time with it. I think another thing that we like doing, part of it, you're right, you hit on this before, it's the therapy part of it. We've chronicled the mental health topics, my issues, and for me, this is therapy, talking into a microphone. It's surprising, when you can talk about almost pretty much anything you want into a microphone. And again, if nobody listens, it's still therapy.
Yeah.
There's still value in it for at least for me to just talk into a microphone.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, I listen to the podcast in the morning. I work from home and, we obviously haven't put out our professions. People kind of know generally around where we live and people local know who we are, but there's a reason why we don't say what we do because there are definitely crazy people and it only takes one crazy person to file like some weird complaint. Right. Mm-hmm. So that's a little bit of a tangent. The tangent being, I know there are probably some people out there listening that would like to know more about us as individuals.
Sorry.
Yeah. But we can't do it for certain reasons, right? I mean, we both like our jobs. We both are able to feed our families from these jobs. And I'm not about to put any of that at risk for a nut job.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that people haven't learned about us. They probably, just by listening to a year's worth of shows, you can kind of tell our personalities. I mean, this is not we're not good enough actors to make any of what we're doing up. I mean,
No.
this is just coming. This
Look,
is what we
if-
think.
If I was going to act,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be this.
No,
Okay.
right.
I'd be some super cool, suave and debonair type of dude. You know,
we
that
could
drove
come
an
up-
Aston Martin.
Actually, shoot, we could have came up with a podcast that was storytelling.
Right. I can't do any accents really,
Right.
except for the weird 1950s video game. And
The Boston Rob accent that
Yeah,
you do. Yeah, you
yeah.
got that one.
yeah, I can also I can do some God, what's his name from InfoWars?
Alex Jones.
Globalists. So yeah, that's about it for me. So
But because I work from home though, I like to listen to podcasts during the day because I can have it on the background. I can listen to it passively, and I can get my work done. So that was another reason why, that's why we both like podcasts. We're like, okay, I think we can do this,
Yeah.
and so that's how the Dumb Idea podcast was kind of born. And we try to incorporate some of the friends that we've got in this as well. Hopefully, more of that to come. I kind of lost my train of thought there.
I mean, and I think but and
Shocker.
but I think a lot of people see it's just kind of stuff that people talk about among friends around a table, maybe at a pub, standing outside, over the fence, that sort of stuff. So, and then have some fun with it, like the beer tasting ones. The Hams beer is still on the table here in the studio, if you will.
That's what we're calling this.
Yeah,
Well, it used to be the poker room,
yeah.
and
In fact, this is the poker table.
right. Remember the day that we talked about we were gonna revamp the studio.
Yeah.
Never happened.
No.
We got chairs though. That's nice.
Yeah. The chairs are nice. They're much more comfortable than the metal folding chair.
Yeah, my rear's not just screaming at me.
But at some point, we're going to have to drink that Hams. We should find someone that we don't like and give that to.
You want to know when that's going to get used? For the boo bags at Halloween.
Oh, God.
That's when those are coming out. Those are going to get passed around. For those people that don't know what a boo bag is, so in our neighborhood at Halloween, the first person gives out 2 boo bags, and inside the boo bags there are usually snacks or candy for the kids, and then usually some kind of alcoholic beverage or something for the adults. And so usually it's like either like some people put in a Bud Light, some people put in a nice beer. Well, this year, whoever's getting it from me, getting Hams. Getting 2 cans of it.
I still have some Natty Ice from that episode. It's sitting on my back porch. So that was
you can ship the Natty Ice over to me for Halloween. I'll probably drink it.
oh. But yeah, that was fun, and as was the actual good beer taste test. That was fun too. So
Yeah. More of that to come too, because I would like to do the summer beers at some point.
yeah,
It feels like we're getting to the point where there's so much stuff that we're trying to run through or get to, especially like current events and whatnot, that by the time we get to it, like the current event is gone, but we still have like 7 episodes that we want to do that aren't current event related.
yeah,
So it's like we try and do current event, fun show, current event, fun show. Mm-hmm. But by the time you did it, like the fun shows kind of pile up, and like it just takes us forever to get to them.
yeah. And then it's also a scheduling issue, because if we're trying to bring 2 other people, so we have 4 microphones in here, so we can have 2. And then the one day we had 5. Krishan was in with, but we made it work. But the thing is, it's if you have those are fun, but then it's trying to nail down, 4 people with schedules and, sports schedules with kids, and, then in the summertime it's vacation schedules when everyone's around, when everyone's not. So right. A lot of times those episodes they just happen because that's the day they could happen.
I mean, it's usually hard enough for the 2 of us to figure out a day. I mean, luckily we kind of said, okay, we're just going to schedule our every other Tuesday.
Yeah.
and the wives kind of like got the point and just haven't scheduled anything over top of it, which is good. Plus, we record it so late at night. Nothing's really going to overlap with that anyway.
Yeah.
But the problem, like you said, but now if you add in 2 more people to that, never mind 3, it gets difficult.
Yeah.
Especially like you said, grown adults with kids and
Yeah, three baseball teams. Well, actually, for a while there was 4 because one kid played on 2 teams.
right.
So, yeah, it was busy, but hopefully we can do. We still want to do the pizza episode.
I would love to do a pizza.
That's some logistics, though.
Because you got to make sure it's hot. That's the problem.
Right.
Because if you're gonna pick them up from different places, you got to try and coordinate. Okay, you got to go there and get that one. You got to go there and get that one. You got to go there and get that one, and you got to get all 4 people to come back and have it hot. And then you got to hope that it stays hot because the 4th pizza, if you're an hour in, the 4th pizza is probably not that hot anymore.
Right.
So now are you really comparing apples to apples? If you got a hot pizza very up front first, and a cold pizza or medium/warm pizza 4th,
And then, or a cold pizza 4th.
yeah. So
And cold pizza could be because some pizza. I mean, when I think about pizza, I don't only look at how it tastes when it's fresh and hot. I also look at how it is cold the next day.
Yep.
And is it decent the next day? Does it reheat well? And the best way to reheat pizza is in the oven or the air fryer, not the microwave. It gets gummy.
I use a toaster oven.
Okay, yeah, same principle. Dry heat as opposed to nuking it.
Right.
But that's another category. But I'm not coming over here to eat cold pizza at 7:00 in the morning. So,
No.
But I definitely think that we can incorporate that. I think another thing we'll do is chicken wings. But if we were to stick to delivery for the pizza, we just have to find enough places that would deliver. So, and
I don't hear that's tough though.
Well, you've got Domino's, Pizza Hut, Bowley's. Who else delivers?
I mean, we got DoorDash who can deliver from other places too, but
Don't get me started about them and my birthday pizza of 2 years ago.
Right,
that was a travesty.
That was a mess.
Yeah. So my favorite. So not to bore anyone, but hey, you know what? It's our show. It's half my show. I'm gonna.
They're already here. They're already here.
Was it 2? It may have been 3 years ago. For my birthday, all I wanted. My favorite pizza in the world is ham and onion, and I've eaten ham and onion pizza since I was a kid. The place we used to go, it was a mistake, and we knew the pizza guy was like, "Hey, you want this ham and onion pizza?" My dad said sure, and I loved it. So, all I wanted was a ham and onion pizza. So I order a pizza from DoorDash, and they bring it. And I'm convinced that the DoorDash driver carried this thing under his arm like it was a notebook, and all the cheese slid over to one side, and it was the worst. It was like. I don't want to say it ruined my birthday because it sounds kind of dumb, but it kind of did.
That's a bit extreme.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, you're right. If you were looking forward to it all day, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's a pizza, a beer, hamburger, whatever. If it sucks, it kind of ruins the expectation.
Yeah, and I was thinking about that pizza all day, and I ordered it. No one else likes it in the house, and I was going to eat the entire thing myself.
Yep.
And by the time it was done, I could eat half of it by myself because it was like extra cheese. So, it was very disappointing. But we could try it again. I mean, I'm not going to, shun DoorDash forever because of that.
By the way, if you hear a jingle, we have a third member of the show tonight. Mm-hmm. We're dog sitting for my brother-in-law. So his golden retriever Coda is right now hanging out with Mike because
he loves me.
That's his new best friend.
Yeah, because I pay attention to him.
Yes, I kick him and tell him. I don't kick him, but
he's a cool dog. He's a golden retriever. He's beautiful.
What are you eating? He's probably eating a sock.
Oh,
if you pull that out of his mouth, that'd be great.
Ow, no, that's my finger. Hold on.
Yeah. So this dog,
I don't know what's in there.
There's like 10,000 things that this dog could probably chew on in this house. I got kids' toys everywhere, napkins, cups, whatever. This dog eats socks and towels.
Nice.
And that's it. That's it. Like if he gets a hold of a sock, game over. It's just gonna be sopping wet when you get it out of his mouth.
Well, he's a beautiful dog, You could probably, as you say, if you hear heavy breathing, it's not me. It's, for
It's the
once,
dog.
It's the dog.
He's such an attention whore.
Yeah. What does he weigh?
Oh, who knows?
He's got to weigh a good 70, 80 pounds.
He's close. I mean, right now he's basically kissing Mike on his hand.
He's licking my hand.
He's trying to propose. But yeah, he's a big old attention whore. Super nice dog. Friendly dog, but boy, does he need a lot of attention.
Yeah, he's needy.
Yes. Very much so. But usually if you leave him alone, he just kind of goes away. He needs that hard, silence from someone before he gets the hint.
See, the problem is I can't leave him alone. So I have a dog at home. I've always had dogs. But my dog and I kind of have a love-hate relationship with one another, as in we love to hate each other. And he's a mini golden doodle. And the problem with the dog is that when we got him, we didn't wait long enough from the previous dog. So the previous dog died, and she was a Labradoodle, and she was awesome. And we didn't wait long enough, so this dog had some big shoes to fill. So he comes into the house, and then after that, I like big dogs. I like big dogs because big dogs are, I've always found of all the dogs I've had growing up, that the bigger dogs were more calm. Mm-hmm. They weren't as insecure.
Yep.
And then the previous dog was a female, and the majority of dogs I had growing up were all females. This one's a male. And then, so he's a male, he's little, and then, okay, you can get over that. Those are immutable characteristics. However, he has a bunch of behavioral issues that I can't stand. So all the bad dog behavior that you don't want your dog to do,
Yep.
Molly did none of those things. Like digging, barking at everything, humping, stealing food, getting out of the yard and running away. This dog, however, does all of those things. So yeah, we're kind of working through things. You know?
Still getting through it.
Yeah, we're gonna go to counseling. There probably is dog and owner counseling.
Isn't it just called dog training? Or where
I bet you
the owner and the dog
so
have to go.
there's dog therapy. People take their pets to pet therapists. So I'm certain that there's probably a couples therapist, but for a person and their dog.
Right.
Which, if you're spending money on that, I'd like to introduce my new business,
Right.
the couples dog therapy business. I don't take insurance. $200 an hour. So yeah, that dog is. But we'll work on a relationship.
This dog. I mean, for me, this dog leaves at the end of the month. So,
I miss him.
He's all right.
I've only been around him for what, an hour now.
Right. Yeah. You know the part I really don't like? Picking up poop. Because this thing just lays Lincoln logs.
Like picking up your own poop. Like if you pooped in the backyard, it would probably be the same.
He poos bigger than me. And I'm just like, of course the girls don't want to do it. The girls don't want to pick up the poop. Now, I shouldn't say that. My oldest will. Mm-hmm. She's picked up the poo. The youngest one, forget it.
No.
It's like, I've tortured her. Although she'll carry it back in the bag.
Okay.
But, yeah, so I was like, this is how I know we're not ready for a dog. Meanwhile, we're both scoping out the dog, make sure he doesn't need any socks right now.
He's looking.
Yeah, he's looking for it. I think he's probably going to, like, freak out when the air conditioner turns on. Because he's scared of his own shadow.
Maybe he's like a drug dog.
Right.
But for socks.
If he's a drug dog, he's really bad at it. Because he hasn't sniffed anywhere near what could be in this basement.
But, yeah, so but I like this dog. I mean, the only problem I have with this breed is they shed.
Oh, yeah.
So, and it being a golden, they're a long coat, and you probably have tumbleweed if you don't stay on top of it.
It's all over my shirt.
Yeah.
Like my shirt, my shorts.
Yeah.
It's all over my house.
Well, my friend is now back with me again. So.
Yes. And giving you a bath.
Yeah.
Ow.
And
And he's got sharp little nubs for teeth. Get down.
This is not polite, Mr. Dog. I guess he wants to be on the show.
He's literally trying to get on the show and on mic. Although he might try and hump your leg.
Oh, he's going to go for a ride then.
That's the last 2 days. He's been frisky,
Oh,
to say the least.
is he fixed?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
then
I
it's
guess
just-
the hormones aren't gone.
Or he's just, no, it's just a dominance thing for them. They try to, that's how they show dominance. Like Memphis becoming Astro Dog when he tried it. So, and he would try it with all the kids, trying to establish where he is in the pecking order. So, the youngest and him are kind of on the same mental wavelength. So they fight like brothers. But, yeah, you might not enter into low Earth orbit like Memphis did when he tried it because you're a little bit bigger, but you're going to come close.
I'm trying to think what else is going on before we reveal the name.
I know everyone's probably on pins and needles. They're just waiting.
Yeah. Well, no, they're gonna have to wait a little longer. We got to sell that ad space that we don't have.
Yeah.
For private internet access.
There you go. Get them in there.
But there's going to be a new website as well with a new show name, and we'll leave the logo the same for a while. That way, people don't freak out. Like, wait, what's his new name? I didn't subscribe to this podcast,
Right.
so we'll leave the logo the same for a while, and the website looks exactly the same as the old one. So everyone will at least be like, okay, well, same person put this together. But other things that happened, let's see. The wife and I went to a wedding out in Ohio.
Okay.
It was a no kids wedding, so that was a bonus.
That's always awesome.
So my mother stayed with the kids. We went to the wedding, had a great time, had a blast with my wife's side of the family. Got myself on a plane.
Okay.
It went actually pretty well.
Yeah.
Well, actually went really well. It's
What airline?
Southwest.
Okay. 737.
Got to sit in the exit row. Got a little extra leg room.
Yeah.
And then, so got there, got back, no issues. We got back, I'd say within 2 days of getting back, the wife gets COVID. Now, do we think we got it at the wedding? Or the airport? Or the flight? No. She probably got it at her place of work. Why do I say that? Because about 4 to 5 other people at her work were out with COVID. So, like, of all the places, right? All the danger zones we could have been in.
Right.
Wedding with about 150 people. Enclosed airplane twice.
Yeah.
Hotel, which, by the way, was really nice we were out in Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
Really nice hotel. It's basically a hotel built for weddings.
All right. So the reception, everything was right there?
Everything was there. Yeah, good food too. I mean, the wedding was a good time. So all of these places we could have gotten it. No, she got it from work. And then, of course, we really didn't isolate very well. We were like, oh, we'll isolate. We'll do that. Yeah, we got kids.
Yeah.
7-year-old. How much is she going to want to isolate from her mother, right?
Yeah.
And of course, like, I got to go in the room. I'm using the same bathroom. So we just didn't do a very good job of it. So, of course, I got COVID. Now, the weird thing is the kids didn't get it at all. So the phantom virus strikes again.
Right.
Where some people get it, some people don't.
Well, it's strange because when I had it, I had an exposure. Well, I had 2 exposures 2 years in a row, right around the same time of one another. So the first one I didn't get anything, but that's back when everything was, everyone was scared of it. And then the second one, I got it and the exposure, and it was, I was like, oh, whatever. And then I kind of felt like just ick for a couple days.
Yep.
Like 2 days, I kind of felt under the weather, but it wouldn't have stopped me from doing anything I wanted to do. So I took a test, and then, that thing, like, it couldn't have turned a brighter red faster than it did. And I was like, I guess I have COVID. But from the very beginning, my wife and I kind of decided if one of us gets it, we all get it. I was going to try to quarantine at home. Like, where am I going to go? So we said, we'll just suck it up and No one else in my family got it either. So I had plenty of tests. Like we kept testing the kids and her, and they never got it. It was just me. So
Yeah,
I like to say that my immune system kicked its ass so hard that it was like it can't even go anywhere. That's what I like to say.
Right. And the weird thing is, like, we had two completely different reactions to it. So my wife felt like she was going to die. And my reaction was very mild. So obviously not everyone reacts the same way. And we don't know why, though. She felt like death for like 5 days.
Right.
5 days of just pure death. Me, had a day, felt tired. A little bit of sore throat. A little bit of foggy head. And then the next day, a little groggy. Day 3, I'm good.
Yeah.
And the wife's like, nope, you're going to isolate it. I want these kids to get it because they're going to camp at the end of school, and I want them out. So I basically laid up in the room for another few days, and that was all she wrote. Now, I sound congested, but I think it's because I'm also allergic to the dog.
Oh.
That's probably not helping me out.
Could be.
Which I'm trying to get him to go over here. Hey.
He doesn't want to listen.
No. Oh, no. He's stubborn as a mule. He's trying to lay down. So,
Well, he was over here just trying to give me a bath
yeah.
with all his loving.
Well, he doesn't realize he's on the linoleum floor, so I can slide him. Just like that.
Yeah. See where he goes. He just needs to settle down. Like, just relax, dude.
Like, normally he does. Like, normally, like, I come down here with him, and he just plops on the floor, and he's done. But he is not having it right now because there's someone new.
Right.
And people are talking. The streets is talking.
Yeah.
And he needs to be a part of it because, God forbid anything happened without him.
Well, he's got, like, that nervous pant going on. Like, he's not quite sure.
Yeah, he is a nervous Nelly.
Yeah.
I mean, like, straight up scared of his own shadow. Like, I took him for a walk at night one time. Scared, like, literally scared of his own shadow from the streetlights. Which, I get it. You're in a new place and whatnot.
Yeah.
But, see, there he goes. He's laying down now.
Good boy.
That's a good boy. Okay, breathe it out. There you go. All right. It's all out now. He's fine. But yeah, the poor guy just like there's not a mean bone in his body. Like he met a really small dog on a walk, and the other owner, I could tell, was like a little bit nervous because he's so big, and the other dog is so small. It's like, I promise you, he's not gonna hurt your dog. I go, he might lick the snot out of it, but he's not gonna harm your dog, and he didn't.
Yeah.
He literally just sniffed. It was like he's gonna sniff the eyebrows off the other dog. It's like, dude, just chill out. You're never gonna make friends like this. It's like the kid who tries too hard.
Yeah.
Just talking about all those train facts. You know what I mean? It's like, come on. It's like, you don't have to put your nose up his ass. You sniff outside the ass.
Yeah, you're like starting to get into like small intestine there, buddy.
Right. Like, you're getting into some kinky shit over there, and all he's trying to do is say hello.
Right.
But he's such a nice dog, but I will not be getting one. Like, I thought I was ready. I thought I was ready for a dog. I was like, yes, this is the trial run, see if the girls can do it.
Nope.
No, I'm sorry. I mean, the poop is one thing. I can get over doing the poop, but this dude, there's a lot of energy going on.
Yeah,
which means
Goldens are balls of energy, so that's not for that breed.
But maybe think about getting like an older dog, like a 5 or 6 year old dog.
Yeah,
you get less time with them, but you don't got to deal with all the puppy garbage.
Well, yeah, that's something that's plus older dogs are harder to adopt, so you're kind of giving someone a new lease on life they might not have otherwise had. So there is something for that. I've done both growing. We've had rescue dogs, we've had new puppies, so
yeah,
purebreds, mutts. So we've run the gamut with dogs. But the nice thing about an older dog, especially an older dog that's you're not quite sure of its lineage or if it's breed and nature, like at least like there's been some history with that dog. Whereas you get some sort of mixed breed puppy. You have no idea. And then you can do like the doggy genetic test to see what its makeup is, see what its DNA comes from. So
this guy's also an outdoor dog too. So like, he's not used to a leash. Mm-hmm. Although he walks really well on a leash, but usually my brother-in-law just like opens the door and lets him run on the yard because they've got like an acre of land up in Pennsylvania, and so he can go. He runs outside. He can run in the yard, does his business, and then he literally just lays outside for a lot of the day.
Yeah.
Whereas here we can't let him off the leash because we're in the suburbs. So
yeah.
But so I imagine he'll be happy to get home at the end of the month so he can kind of roam free a little bit.
Yep.
But enough about dogs. Well, so we were talking about the COVID. I survived, you know.
Yeah, I see you're still alive, so that's good.
I'm still kicking. Just touch and go there for about 3 seconds, but I'm good now. Although, the funny part is the wife, she called the doctor because she was in bad shape, right? Flu-like symptoms, just looked like it was like she was like, I feel horrible. So she called the doctor. Televisit with the doctor. The doctor says, okay, well, we got 2 things we can do. One, you can ride it out. Just take meds to treat your symptoms. Ride it out. And then she's like, well, what about that antiviral? I think it's called Paxlovid or something from Pfizer. And so she starts listing the side effects from this thing. Because she said, let me tell you the side effects because you might not want to deal with the side effects. That might be worse than what you're going through.
Yeah.
And apparently it's like really bad stomach issues.
No thanks.
Like anything from diarrhea to cramping. It's like almost like COVID in reverse. It's like every stomach issue is a symptom from this drug.
Oh,
this miracle antiviral drug.
So rather than having a flu, you just
you feel like death in your stomach.
No thanks.
Like you get nausea, diarrhea, or constipation, one or the other. Cramping, pain, just like that's like I don't know about you, but I would take any kind of like virus that doesn't include nausea and throwing up.
Oh yeah,
that's the worst for me.
Yeah, I don't want to puke. A close. So if I had to choose, so puking is absolutely like that's the worst. Don't want to do that.
Yep.
Especially without the benefit of having everything numbed by excessive consumption of alcohol, which can lead to puking.
Yes.
But you're drunk, so you forget about it. Like the next day, you just feel hungover. But then having it come out the other side, that's just a pain too.
Imagine
or both sides.
If you get both, oh, forget it.
And I've had like a stomach bug where it was coming out both, both ends, and you're sitting on a toilet and holding the bucket, and like that's not fun.
Yeah.
At all. So, and that's like the cure for the flu-like symptoms. I'll ride it out.
Right.
Thanks.
Yeah. So basically, she heard the side effects. She's like, "No, I'm good. I'm gonna ride this out."
Yeah. Good call.
And I mean, she still got a cough now. I guess she doesn't really have much taste still or smell. So, but supposedly that'll come back.
Yeah.
So,
see, when I had it, I didn't have any of the taste smell issues.
Yeah, either did I.
I didn't even break a fever. Like, that was good.
Yeah, I don't remember having much of anything.
It wouldn't have stopped me from doing anything I really wanted to do.
I'll be right back. Keep talking.
When I think the dog needs to go. No, he's just looking at you like with a.
He went upstairs and I had the door shut.
Oh, but now he's back.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Keep talking to them.
So yeah, I had the very mild version of it. So, and I'm not going to discount anyone that had like a true version of it, but mine was so mild. I said, "This is it." Like that I was ready to be like, laying on my deathbed and I feel absolutely fine, and now I have to stay inside for a freaking week. So,
Like I was prepared for the worst. I'm like, you know what? I mean, 70% of people that died from this were obese. I guess this is it. This is it for me. I got the comorbidities. I'm done for. Goodbye, world. I got the sniffles.
yeah. And your wife, who has none of those things, is fine,
Right.
Or had the worst of it.
Yeah,
So,
she thought she was like, she had fevers, chills, body pains, body aches, cough, congestion, just pretty much. She was like, it's like a bad flu.
yeah,
And then I'm sitting over like, I'm done with this.
right.
Like she wanted me, like she wanted me to stay in like the room, like the sick room. Mm-hmm. Everyone's got a sick room in their house. And I was like, so I was there for like, by day 3, I'm like, what am I doing here? So I was like,
Yeah.
forget it, I'm going down to the basement. The basement's gonna be my sick room. 'Cause I got TV down here. I can lounge around. I'm not stuck in a bed. Like being stuck in a bed when you're not sick sucks. It's
Yeah.
it's like really boring, especially like the kids are at school, wife's at work. I'm like, what am I doing? I'm literally quarantining for myself
Right.
in this house. I was like, I'm done with this. I'm going to the basement.
Yeah.
So I went to the basement. I hung out there for like 3 more days. And I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm good. And
Well, that's how I, and I think that's what we're going to have to eventually get with COVID, is just realize that for most people it's going to be like you, or like even your wife had, not.
right. I mean, if that's obviously it's not the worst of it because people have been in the hospital with it. But
Yeah.
if that's what it is for most people, or even just some people, and most people are like me and you, maybe it's time to kind of let it run.
Yeah.
Enough with the boosters, or maybe the boosters help. I don't really know.
Yeah. I mean, I had a booster. I'm pretty sure I had COVID when I got my booster, but I don't think that, again, if someone wants to get it, get the booster. If you don't, then don't.
But I'm 6 months away from the booster, and I got it.
Yeah.
And supposedly the booster and the 2 original shots weren't very helpful against this strain of Omicron anyway. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I got it to protect myself back then,
Yeah.
but if this is so, who knows if my booster even helped me with this Omicron thing,
Right.
with this version of Omicron, right? And if this is what it is without a booster, without any help in the immune system, I mean, unless you're like in one of the really high risk categories, I'm almost like, all right, let's get it, move on, get you some natural immunity.
Yeah.
But who knows? I mean, there's still people driving around in cars with masks on by themselves.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The true believers.
And we talked about this the other day. You got an air filter for the cabin of your car. Mm-hmm. It's already filtering for you. You don't got to wear one on top of that.
Well, and the stuff's not just floating around the air like pollen.
Right.
Like you got to be near someone that has it. And if you're in a car by yourself, you are just by default not anywhere. You're not going to catch it. And if the point of the mask is to keep other people from getting it, then there's no one in the car. So what are you doing? Now, some people say, "Oh, I put it on because then now I don't forget it," which I get, because how many times back when everyone had to wear masks, I'd walk out of the car and then make it like 4 steps, like stupid mask. Right. My kids call the mask the stupid mask because I would forget it and I would say stupid mask, and I'd go back and get it. And then I realized I also got my phone, but it was to that point. So. But hopefully this, I mean, I guess until it becomes advantageous politically for somebody, it'll stay where it is.
And so this 45-minute conversation that we've just had is very indicative of why we're changing the name of the podcast. And how about that for a segue, by the way?
Oh, yeah, I love it.
I'm going to pat myself on the back for that one. So I'm gonna let you say it, because originally this was a name you floated a while back.
Yeah, I think I floated this at the same time. Dumb idea.
Yeah, but we didn't want it to be associated with that certain topic, because we felt we were going to pigeon ourselves in.
Yeah.
Because people would only think we're going to talk about that one thing.
Right.
That was the original reason for not doing it.
Yep. And we've only done 2 episodes on it. So the new name of the Dumb Idea podcast, if I had a drum roll or a sound guy, is the
I was gonna try and give you a drum roll with
Yeah.
my mouth, but I don't think it's.
is the Driveway Beers podcast. And yeah, and if it's the same concept. It's still, but over the fence doesn't work. Across the fence, across the yard, none of it really worked. But we thought, this kind of started a bunch of dudes having driveway beers. Mm-hmm. And driveway beers is it's one of those things that's kind of at least if you live in a neighborhood that has driveways, is, it's kind of a thing. Go outside, talk to your neighbor, drink a beer, offer one up, and then someone else walks up, hey, you want a beer? Yep. And then all of a sudden you're having driveway beers.
Well, it's not just driveways, though. For us, it was a driveway.
For us, it was the tot lot.
Tot lot. But, people that live in apartment complexes, you're having your driveway beers in a parking lot.
Yeah.
Or, if you're out in the rural country, having your driveway beer next to a fire with some friends you've invited over.
Yep.
Basically, it's just any conversation random conversation you've had with just some neighborly friends.
Yep. And some of these conversations not any ones that we're really involved with unless it's sports, but some break down into arguments.
Oh, yeah.
So we have the ongoing argument of will Ovechkin break Gretzky's record? The answer to that, of course, is yes.
And, no. In fact, we have dollars on that bet.
So, but yeah, so that's kind of the simple, nice stuff, but also people talk about some pretty, in-depth deep issues or whatever's going on, kind of like we do here.
Well, that's one of the reasons we talk about politics. Because a lot of the stuff that, when we talk about politics on the show, those are the conversations that ordinary people are having. And they vote based on those conversations, right? So, everyone wonders why the polls could be so wrong over the last, 8 to 12 years?
Yeah.
The polls have been dead wrong for presidential elections and senatorial and House Representative elections. They've just been dead wrong. They haven't been right in literally 12 almost 16 years.
Yeah.
And reason being is because those polls aren't reaching, they don't reach the middle of the spectrum politically, which is what most of your neighborhoods and neighbors are.
Yeah.
They always say, look, 30% are Democrats, 30% are Republicans, and the other 60% are in the middle.
Yep.
And that 60% in the middle decide elections, right? So that's why, having these conversations out in the open, not just in our driveway or our tot lot or our parking lots or wherever they are. So it's important to kind of put it out there, because there are other people out there who are just disenfranchised by the left-wing media or the right-wing media. They don't relate to it. Those aren't their points of view. So people happen to catch our podcast and think, oh yeah, I get that. Mm-hmm. I think that way too. And finally, someone's speaking like they do.
Yeah. And the thing is, you don't have to. And I think the way we're set up here is that we have, you've got your single issue votes, and you've got your if you're for this one thing, you're generally going to be against the other thing. But to have someone like us who's pro issue A but also pro issue B, it doesn't fit into their nice little constructed boxes. So, and I think a lot of people out there are like that. And to say, well, what a difficult decision this is, where, I'm kind of for both of these things. No candidate's going to come along that's pro, that's a big Second Amendment guy like I am, and also is for some sort of socialized medicine. No one's coming along like that.
Right. Or even someone that sees the nuance with the Second Amendment.
Yeah.
Or socialized medicine.
Yeah.
Because if you do that, if you kind of debate yourself and see both sides of a topic, then they label you a flip flopper.
Yeah.
Like, remember that thing they did with John Kerry?
Yep.
Not that he was a great candidate, but they literally labeled him a flip flopper.
Yeah.
Like, that was the term they used. Mm-hmm. And apparently that sank his campaign because people are stupid when they vote.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a flip-flopper. I can't vote for that guy.
Because he's not steadfast on anything. Well, you mean to tell me that you want someone that's steadfast on everything?
Right.
Like, so if they come up with an idea that sounds really good on paper, but then turns out to be really, really dumb and bad, you want them to stay steadfast on the dumb thing? It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
But I would like somebody that can see, like, hey, I had this position at one time in my life, and now through, this or that, I've come around and I now hold this other position. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And there's also I don't think there's anything wrong with not coming down hard on one side or the other.
Right.
But I think us as voters have almost forced, or voting blocks have forced people to come down hard on one side or the other without being able to say, yeah, but there's nuance. There's not everything fits in these nice, perfectly constructed boxes. You can't just jam things in there. And we don't give our candidates the room to explain those. Because, again, everything has to fit into a 7-second soundbite. So that's either going to be used to hang you or used to prop you up, whichever one it happens to be, or whoever's evaluating it.
Right. I mean, I think the other thing is, we've had other people on the show for some of our political talks that don't necessarily have the same opinion we do. Mm-hmm. And I think the other thing that's lost is that it's okay.
Yeah.
I can still be friends with that person.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the old days when, the senators and congressmen, you would have, a Southern Democrat and a Northern Republican might disagree on everything. But at the end of the day, they were out having drinks at, either Congress Club or something, or whatever it was. There wasn't the animosity that we tend to see from the clickbait news.
Yeah.
Right. And I get it. It doesn't give views if it's happiness. Good news doesn't sell.
Right. If someone's not owning someone or dunking on somebody else, it doesn't generate any interest.
But I do think some of that's turning, because one of the most popular YouTubers on YouTube right now is a young man named Mr. Beast. And all he does is positive things. Mm-hmm. And he's got millions upon millions of subscribers. I mean, you're talking 40, people watch his videos 41 million times per video. And all he's doing is positive stuff. Mm-hmm. He literally, he went up to some homeless people and was giving them 10 grand.
Yeah.
That was the video. Mm-hmm. And people loved it. So he kept doing it because he made him feel good.
Yeah.
So I think some of the tide has kind of turned. People are just so turned off by the animosity and the vitriol toward each other that I think people are now searching for the feel-good stuff.
Yeah,
the stuff they can get behind.
And they do that stuff for their base. But the thing is, what I don't get is the base is going to be on your side regardless.
Right.
So why are you doing it to amp up your base? Your base who's gonna be there anyway. Yeah, man, you told him. And then you might get some fringe middle people. So if, say, it's a Republican doing it, you're gonna have some fringe right that might be like, oh yeah, I really like that. I'm coming over to this guy's side. But then you're gonna alienate a bunch of other people. They're like, man, that guy's an asshole. I don't really see that way. But just for some clicks and for some to hear from your own peanut gallery, to get some cheers from people who are going to cheer for you anyway. It's almost like the little kid. My mom says I'm really, really handsome. Well, your mother's supposed to think you're handsome.
But see, they got to appeal that base to get past the primaries,
right?
And then just hope they can tack back toward the middle just enough to pick off some people in the middle to get elected.
Yeah,
right.
And in some and I get in some of these deep red, deep blue districts, like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez does not have to tack very far right at all. She in her district, she probably, because she represents Brooklyn, the hipster land. She probably has to tack so far left all the time. And if she tacks even towards the middle a little bit, it's probably she's not gaining anything. It's just blue or more blue. And same with some people in deep red districts, but that's not where most people reside in the country. Most are, again, in the middle. So, but it depends how much do you want to turn people off too.
Right.
So I'm not sure the way to navigate that. I think the primary system, and I've probably said this before, is the worst thing there. Because it forces you to get two extreme left or right people to run against one another, and then in the middle where we all kind of reside, it's like, well, this guy's a freaking communist, and this one over here is a wingnut,
right?
But
yeah, that's these type of conversations, this is what everyone's having in America, not just politically. When we were talking about our 5 top movies, I said we probably had another 3 conversations about the movies we didn't include.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh man, I can't believe I left this one out.
Yeah. And shocker, I did 0 prep work for that one.
But here's the thing though. Your top 5 though, I think maybe that's why we got to go not top 5, but numbers 5 through 10.
Yeah.
Because I think no one really can disagree with anyone's top 5, because the top 5 is when you were saying your top 5, I was like, oh yeah.
It's not like I came out here and said, hey, what's your top 5? Seagal or Iron Eagle.
Right.
I didn't say that. Iron Eagle 1 was pretty good though. The other ones were crap.
Yeah, that was back when sequels sucked.
Yeah.
Iron Eagle 1, good movie.
Yeah.
2, 3, and I think 4 should never have been made.
Right. Or how many Fast and Furious are we up to?
Well,
now?
no, hold on. No, hold on now. Listen, I can't believe I'm going to say this. I dig almost all the Fast and Furious, except for Too Fast, Too Furious, which was the one in Japan.
Okay.
No.
The Tokyo Drift was Japan.
Sorry. The one with the kid. Vin Diesel wasn't in it. It was Lil Bow Wow.
Oh.
And the hillbilly white dude that was in Varsity Blues.
The fat guy?
No. The short white wide receiver dude.
I know who you're talking about.
He plays the hillbilly in every movie.
Yeah.
I can't remember the dude's name, but he's been in quite a lot of stuff. Decent actor. Mm-hmm. But him and Lil Bow Wow, or was it Jaden Smith? Was it Jaden Smith? I forgot. I think it was Bow Wow. But Bow Wow and that dude were in the movie together. I was like, nah, dude, I can't get with this one. So, but all the other ones, I don't know. I teared up a little bit when they did the one right after Paul Walker died, and at the end they did the tribute to him. I'm not gonna lie, a little tear.
It was supposedly Paul Walker was a good dude too.
So he was the dude who had his own. He started his own charity, but actually went and did the charity work.
Oh, rather than just starting as a tax shelter?
Yes.
I'm going to donate money to myself to avoid paying taxes?
It was basically his brothers and his friends would go to these places and actually do the work. And it was all his own money, though. It all came from the Fast and Furious franchise, pretty much. Mm-hmm. So he wasn't seeking donations.
Yeah.
But he actually went out there. So by all accounts, the dude was yeah, he's a little bit bro-ish.
Yeah.
But he's a good person, though.
Right.
But it was at the end of that, I think it was Fast 9. I think it was the one.
What are they up to now?
Oh, man. I think they got to be 10 or 11 now.
Yeah.
It's either that or F8. Maybe it's Fast 8. I don't remember which one. They got weird names for a lot of these. But anyway, so the end of it, they Vin Diesel and Paul, and they CGI'd Paul Walker, or they put his brother in the car. Mm-hmm. Or no. They used footage from a previous movie, I think, and they basically had Vin Diesel and Paul Walker drive off into the sunset, and that was like the tribute to Paul Walker. Because they had to finish filming with his brothers.
Yeah.
Because his brothers look enough like him, and they could use some camera angles to make it look like him.
Yeah.
So they were able to finish filming that movie because he died in the middle of shooting. Got teared up. They did the old I can't remember the song, but it was like it was the song, the movie. It was all happening at the same time. I got a little choked up. I'm not too proud to say it, but they did a nice job with it. Anyway, but no, so that was So I like the sequels. I mean, I like the original. Forget the second one. 3 through 9. I'm on board with.
Yeah.
There's some that could be a good show. Sequels worth watching.
Okay. Yeah. No.
That might be worth doing.
There are a few. Yeah. I don't want to get into it now.
No.
We're
We're already an hour in.
Yeah.
At this point. So with the new name, Driveway Beers Podcast, we'll switch the name over after this episode. So right now, you probably clicked on it. It still said Dumb Idea Podcast. Same logo, same website, okay? Next week, it's going to say Driveway Beers Podcast. The website's drivewaybeerspodcast.com. We're going to change the name on the Facebook to be Driveway Beer. Everything's going to change to Driveway Beers.
Yeah. Even the Instagram page.
Instagram page, going to go to Driveway Beers. Facebook page, Driveway Beers, which we really don't keep up with either one. Although you probably do a better job with Instagram than I do with Facebook.
No, I don't. I'm pretty bad at it.
I'm awful with Facebook.
This is what happens when you have Gen X dudes running the internet stuff.
The social media kid.
Don't we have an intern for this?
We need to hire some 16-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Who's willing to take I can't say. I was like, we'll take the hams as payment.
Yeah. Right.
Here's some hams. Here's a 4-pack of hams. Go get blasted with your buddies.
Not even a 6-pack, 4-pack. We drank 2 of them.
You can have the leftovers from the episode.
Why is there only a 4-pack, bro? Because we drank the first 2.
Because we choked on the first 2. For the show, we choked on the first 2. Just like we choked on one when we did the Maryland craft brews that none of us could stand. So drivewaybeers.com or drivewaybeerspodcast.com. Driveway Beers Podcast. We're probably going to do a new logo, but we're going to keep it the same for now. The website's going to look exactly the same. I didn't change anything on that. New email, contact@drivewaybeerspodcast.com. Or we each have our own emails there, but if you want to contact us at contact@drivewaybeerspodcast.com. Trying to think if anything else changed. I think that's it. I think all the links and everything will be the same. You just got to keep clicking on the episodes to listen.
Yeah.
Hopefully you don't mind. Hopefully everyone likes the name change. If you don't, too bad, it's happening anyway.
Yeah, because it's available and we already bought the website.
Yes, we did. It's on the interwebs. It can't be undone. Sorry. But that's about it. It's going to be the same podcast, same people. Maybe we'll bring some more people in more often. Maybe not. I don't know. The dog just grunted at us because he's tired.
I think he farted too.
He probably did.
Oh, yeah, he definitely did.
Oh, you got the business end of that one.
Seriously, dude? I've been your friend this whole time.
You've been the one petting him, letting him lick you, and then he just
I'm literally covered in dog spit, and he farted all over me. Great.
He almost got you on your foot. He almost directed the spray right on your toes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But, all right. Well, maybe I think we're going to change the intro for the next podcast as well. Maybe we'll get some new music for that as well. Any artists that want to lend us a 30-minute clip of a song, we'll be more than happy to use it.
30 minutes?
30 seconds. Sorry. 30 minutes to take up the whole podcast. Trying to think. Anything else?
No, I think it's going to be not really a rebranding because we're still doing the same thing.
Yeah. Same show, new name.
Yeah, just
right?
a different name, and I think one that's more in line with kind of our vision and what the idea of the show is, and also, you know, we also have to think about, you know, for any advertisers might not want to advertise on the Dumb Idea podcast.
Right.
So not that they're beating our doors down or anything, but
it's kind of a conversation starter right off the bat.
Yeah.
What's the name of it? The Dumb Idea podcast.
So you want me to give you money to put my name on a dumb idea?
Right.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Just call it the No Thank You podcast at that point.
Oh yeah, could have done that. Although that leans too much into no thank you bites that I have to do with my kids to eat food. All right. Well, thank you for listening. Hopefully, you enjoyed this show. We'll get back to our normal shows, which is just as interesting as this one was. But we'll see you next time. Like, subscribe, comment, share, especially share, and we will see you next time.